Hello there, YouTube. Devin here again, and today I have another boot review for you. But this isn't a military pair of boots, but it is still a very famous pair of boots, and I highly recommend you get a pair. And we'll go over some of the features and stuff in here when we get into these. Now, my family has a history of shoemaking. My father did it kind of as a hobby. My grandfather actually did it as a job, though. That was his primary profession was being a shoemaker. So I grew up most of my life getting custom made pairs of shoes for me every single year that my grandfather would make. After my grandfather and my father died, the very first pair of footwear that I bought that wasn't like old government surplus or anything like that my father had laying around or anything like that. My first civilian pair of footwear that I bought was these. Well, not this exact pair, but the Dunham's 7701 red sole work boot. Was the first pair of boots that I bought. I remember ordering them out of a catalog. And they were absolutely amazing. They were the greatest boots ever. They were discontinued, however, a number of years ago, and now the company STC, which stands for Shoe Technology Corporation, or Shoe Tech Canada, as a lot of people like to call it, reintroduced the original Dunham's work boot, the 7701. Which meets all the same specifications. They're actually even made in the same factory that Dunham's had closed. These guys bought out, and they're made by the same employees on the same lasts with the same materials in the same factory, actually, as the original Dunham's. Now, as you can see, these boots, if you've ever owned a pair of Dunham's, the only difference you're going to find between these and the original Dunham's is three things, all right? The original Dunham's had round eyelets, where these have hexagonal brass eyelets, all right? It would say Dunham's up here instead of STC. And the original Dunham's had a felt insole, whereas these were placed with a modern cushion type insole, like a foam insole. These are 200 gram insulated boots. Now, when I say insulated, 200 gram insulation isn't really enough to like keep you warm. It's more of just padding. They're not going to keep you warm in winter unless you have very, very hot feet. I have very, very hot feet, but I can wear these all summer and not really sweat in them. That just gives you, winter weight stuff is, once you start to get to like 400 and over, that's when you get to like winter weight insulation when you're referring to shoes. So 200 gram insulation is more padded. These are more padded work boots than insulated work boots. They are they're considered to be a wheat color. It's like a nubuck, kind of, if you've ever owned a pair of like Timberland boots. They're like that same kind of leather. They are considered the red outsole boots. These are the soles on them. It's a very, very good pattern for use indoors or outdoors. Not so great on ice. It doesn't have the best traction because it's not super chunky, but you'll get pretty good traction on most surfaces with these. This is in a size 10.5. They tend to run about a half size large as lengthwise. So far, the only thing I know is that these are only being made in regular sizes so far. They haven't been out for that long. But I've been wearing these for about a week now, and they're very, very comfortable. They're just as comfortable as I remember my old Dunham 7701s being. These are actually still called the 7701s. But they're very, very nice. They're made out of a nice nubuck leather, very thick, 4 rows of stitching along the wear points. Has the same kind of hourglass back strap on it, and it's a fully pig leather lined. Pig leather is a lot like sheepskin, where it's naturally antimicrobial, naturally stuff like that. So it's going to keep your boots from growing bacteria, which is very nice. And you can see they're pretty stiff, but they're also very thick because they're padded. So you could see me squishing the 200-gram insulation there. The laces on them are my only gripe. I don't think they're as good as the original Dunham's laces. They seem kind of stretchy and like they're going to wear out very fast. But that's my only gripe with these boots. Now, if you know any history on these boots were so popular in Canada, the original Dunhams, that they based the military's footwear off of them. As you can see, they're almost the same exact boot. The only difference is these are in black. These are not insulated. They are still fully leather lined though, and they even have the same sole pattern on them. That's how influential these Dunham's boots were. They same kind of a thing pretty much, except instead of the lowers here being all one piece, the uppers are all one piece. And the lower is all its own separate piece, where instead of it wrapping around the stitching here, it's probably easiest just to show you. So see the difference here, whereas the uppers are underneath the lower here, whereas the uppers are over the lowers here. That's about the only difference on the outside. Still has the round laces. This has a relief cut in it, unlike the Dunham's 7701s. Here you can see these aren't lined. They are much thinner. They aren't padded, I mean, but they are fully leather lined. But these the Dunham's boots were so influential that you can see the resemblance from almost every angle, except the military ones are a little beefed up. You can see the kind of hourglass shape there. This has 4 rows of stitching in the back, but they're pretty much the same length, the same dimensions. The military ones are a little bit taller. They have the same kind of rubber heel, made the same exact way. They're very influential. They're so close together. So I just wanted to, I know normally this is a military channel, but I just wanted to explain that to you guys about some of the history there between the Canadian service boots and how they're actually based off of work boots. Hopefully you guys like this video and you subscribe if you like this sort of thing. Do you want any additional information? Excuse me. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, or additional information, any stories about using either of these boots, these are the Mark IIIs and these are the Dunham 7701s, remade by STC. If you have any additional information on either of those pairs of boots, any user experiences, any positive or negatives, things you liked about them, things you didn't like about them, leave those in the comments. I'd very much love to hear about it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people would be able to use that information if they're looking to buy a pair of these. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.